And we're live.
Oh,
You got the wrong one. All right, welcome to the very first live stream we do in this channel, in the Blender Developers channel. My name is Pablo Vazquez. I'm not a developer. I'm cheating right here. But I happen to be with Dalai, developer.
my name is Dalai Felinto. I'm a Blender developer in Blender 2.8 and helping the Eevee project. So, nice to be here.
It's nice to be here. So we decided to start with... Well,
It's not like you don't work just across the hall there, but that's okay. It's nice to be here.
Thank you for coming all the way. We are streaming live. It's 10 p.m. on Monday. We are streaming live from the Blender Institute in Amsterdam. So yeah, we work at the same place. He works right there, so it's a bit of a cheat. But yeah, we decided to start sharing all these exciting things happening on Blender 2.8 and on the Eevee especially. It's very hype this day.
We're doing a few of those small short projects, short videos you probably saw on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And people enjoy it so much. We actually did a live stream in Spanish a few weeks ago.
Yes.
But for different...
We're featuring awesome...
different crew. And I know people are responding quite well. And then the developers are putting so much time and effort on Eevee. All the other developers as well. So it's nice to be able to make a milestone from time to time and make sure everyone can be amazed in all of everything we have to tell here.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see everybody using Eevee already. Like even like a couple of weeks ago when it was so much less ready, I guess.
At least slower, definitely slower.
Yeah, so that's very exciting, and we hope to make this kind of live streams and demos of Eevee and other parts of Blender 2.8 in the future.
If people like it enough, if there's a good response, so let's see how it goes.
It
depends on you.
Depends. Now, let us know how it goes. So let's get to it. Otherwise, it's going to be boring. So we have prepared a few blend files already that awesome artists have provided. And we have some demos of the first, some of the new features. And we have some questions from the blog. We posted this on the blog, and there's already many questions on the YouTube channel. So let us know. We're going to first demo some of the files, and then we're going to go through the questions.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So let's see. What do we have here? We have this is like the
pinnacle.
Exactly. It's what you use like, oh, yes, of course. This is Eevee. That's everybody. So what is so special about this file? This was on Blender Nation some time ago, right? A few weeks ago. It's a file from Daniel Beistet.
Yes, and he's such a good artist. So you can find his portfolio on the internet, on Tumblr. And he did a few known projects. He participated on the, I forgot the name, but Unity Adam project, I think.
Yes.
It's a demo, which was very inspiring for the whole Eevee project, because they basically made a whole short film with Unity in real time. And in a way, I mean, you're not copying anything, but it's part of our inspiration. And his work is so... he's pretty much working in the industry, and it's so nice to have him like reaching out to us. He actually wrote to Tom directly.
Yeah? Nice.
And I said, please, we love your work. And then he sent his file, and it's just amazing. Just so you can see how far you can push the system with the right artists and the right developers.
Yeah,
So,
and even in such an early stage of Eevee. So what do we see here? I think we see many things. We see a little bit of the depth of field, for example. That's some compositing effects.
I doubt it YouTube can...
Huh?
I doubt YouTube compression gonna let people see depth of field. Come on.
Can we push it further? Of course.
Yes, on the first tab. Oh no.
No, it's overridden.
Okay.
Using the new layer system, which we can spend a whole other video with that.
Now it's easier to see.
Oh, there you go. Now this is... Okay, YouTube help us to make it... This is blurry, and this is... Yeah, of course, it's obvious. This part is sharp. So this is one of the post-processing effects of Eevee, right?
Yeah, it's one of many. At the time we have 4. We're going to have volumetric coming very, very soon.
Oh.
That's really new. Clement's working right now on having this implemented for 2.8. We're going to have bloom color in a little bit. So there's still things to come for post-processing.
Okay, so if I just disabled everything right here. I'm on the
They
cameras.
overwritten.
Oh, they are overridden. Sorry, this is a new override system, which I am still learning. Basically, you have render settings, and then you can have override settings, which override. That then the name says it. So this is how it would look out of without any post processing, which is still pretty damn good. I mean, wow. And the post processing effects was one of them is ambient occlusion, which you don't really.
I think at the time when he was actually working on it, there was no ambient occlusion.
Oh, so he baked.
So he didn't even use it.
Yeah, so he probably baked it or used something like that.
Oh, there's actually, I don't remember. There's a whole normal map and displacement map in this file, and there's also some real like spotlight shadowing. So you actually don't really need ambient occlusion for these, but it's nice that you can play with it.
But it's nice that you can still play with it. Motion blur. This is not animated, but if it was animated, you will see a bit of motion blur from the camera view, right?
And there's a cheap motion blur, so it's basically only taking into account mostly like the camera movement and the object movement, but not.
So it's not the formation motion blur. No, it's like in cycles. You also have object motion blur, which it only takes into account the position of the objects, which is very fast and cheap, and economic. Let's now say cheap sounds bad. It's actually really good.
It's like affordable. It's not cheap.
Affordable. Oh, I just crashed. Eevee for the first day. Okay, we got our first crash of the night.
Should be one of these drinking games. Every time Blender crash, you can
take a
shot.
A drinking game. Please, no, don't do that at home, guys. Or girls, don't do it.
There was a question that was quite relevant. Someone asking if it would be the same content as the live stream in Spanish.
Okay, yeah. So for those that don't know, we did exactly this live stream, but in Spanish first on my own channel. And we talk about many things, but it's not going to be the same because that was 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks of development, that is quite a lot.
Much changed.
Much has changed. So don't.
And we get new files.
We get new files, yes.
And even this file, you gotta look better because now we have the displacement map, which you did not have.
Yes, in the live stream, there is a bug in Blender in the PSD. Handling of Blender that if the file is packed, if that texture is packed within Blender, it wouldn't show it wouldn't load, so it didn't load the displacement, and now it does. Look at it. Look at this nice detail. Actually, we were explaining the stack, and I'm gonna remove depth of field for now. Okay, so now we can see. Look at this. Amazing. For some reason, it crashed with the depth of field, but it was working, so it must be some combination of things.
Good thing we have the file to investigate.
Oh, yes. I'm not going to do it right now, but look at this. Amazing. Well, disgusting, but in a good way. So this is mainly like normal maps, right? And some displacement, which gives these little bumps on the side.
Well, it's a bit more. This actually is using all the expected PBR channels.
Oh, so let's see the node setup.
So you get a base pass, you get the...
So let's go here. This is the metallic node, right?
Mm-hmm.
So using a base color, which is just the color, I guess.
Yeah, the base texture is called albedo.
Albedo? Albedo?
Albedo? I never
albedo, yeah, we're Latinos, sorry. No metallic, specular, some roughness map, and emissive colors.
Yeah, this is something that is a bit different from principled in Blender.
Yeah,
we have a file that shows this a bit better.
The principled, yeah.
Yes, because on cycles, the principal material node does not have emission. So if you really want an emission shader, you need to have an emission shader and then have a mix shader and do the add it on top.
Oh.
But for Eevee, this is originally part of the same node at the moment. But since we're planning to integrate everything within the principal shader, we're going to follow the same principal cycles.
That's pretty cool. So there will be only need for one node for one node, basically.
Yes, that definitely.
That's the idea, to simplify. We already have too many nodes. So to have one node to rule them all.
Which was the idea of the principle from the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's nice to use the same system for Eevee as well.
Yes.
We'll see.
Cool. So when do you think we can expect this?
As soon as we decide what to do about the specular node.
Specular.
Because if you look at the materials now on Eevee,
yes,
we have two different kind of shaders. One is the specular, the other one is metallic.
Yes.
And the metallic is very easy to replace with the principled. So actually most of this is working already. But the specular one is a different pipeline. Like internally, the code is doing something different. We're still not convinced, first, if you should keep it, and second, how you're gonna do it. So this is the one thing that's still preventing us from just switching to the principled for everything. Gonna come soon.
Wow. They look the same though. For me, they look very close. Awesome, great news. So the continues just to wrap up the part of the process stack, which we already show. Well, we explained motion blur. I had a file actually that was using it, the card from Caminandes, but I don't have it right now. And then there is Bloom, which it's pretty clear.
I don't know if this file shows much.
So, well, we can just make it show much intensity. No, because it's
overwritten.
Overread and overrides. We should display this overrides. I want to remove the overrides. I don't.
Yeah, one at a time.
Don't get too excited with the overrides. Okay. Here, let's see.
So the idea of the override is, I think Pablo explained briefly, but you can have the same scene with your default settings, and you have different layers, so different scene layers, which with just a few modifications from the original one. Then I kind of have this already for samples, like 2.78, but now you are expanding these for more and more features.
Yes, and it is actually pretty handy. Overrides, for example, would allow you to have two objects, or two measures, or two whatever, and then they're completely duplicate. They're linked completely, but you can override like one thing of that object, one material, one setting, anything. That is really powerful. So you can import lighting from some other project and then override like the values of some of the lights, but still keep the original data untouched. So yes, it's gonna be great.
Why don't we open the principal file?
Let's open the principal file, and there's a question for you.
But why?
What are the recommended system specs to run Eevee? What do you need to run Eevee?
Who is asking that? Do we say their names?
Yes, Nail Mail Games on YouTube. We're only streaming on YouTube anyway.
Okay.
So what kind of system do you need?
We need a system with a very fast graphic card, a really decent. No, this above. Yes. Really good graphic card, basically. So as good as it can be. We are supporting what we call OpenGL 3.3. Yes. But honestly, if your system can support OpenGL 4 or 4.5, we also try to make usage of these. So there is to have a bare minimum. But if you can support more fancy features,
yes,
you can have non-blocking schedule compilation. Some features they're gonna be better. So I didn't answer your question. We have a few, good companies in the market. We have, I go in alphabetical order. We have AMD, we have Intel, we have NVIDIA. That's all the ones I know. I know there are a few other ones, but these are the three ones.
Yeah.
The Intels are, I still haven't seen a good fast GPU from Intel, because usually it's integrated.
Yeah. So they try.
So we want a computer with a dedicated graphic card.
Yeah.
That's for one.
Yeah.
And just something new. GT1030 is be good enough. Chris, I don't know. We need to check in the internet.
GT1030. Yes. Now just check your OpenGL version, and then if it's it has to be at least 3.3.
3.3. Yes.
And above. So the higher the better, of course. Yeah. But for Eevee, at least 3.3. Of course, you can use the rest of Blender without it. It's just you're not gonna have the.
You can't.
What do you mean?
You cannot use Blender 2.8 if your computer doesn't support
3.3.
3.3.
Okay. Yeah. But a computer of like 5 years plus.
By the time 2.8 is gonna be released, you're gonna still respect the rule of 5 years for Blender.
Okay, the 5-year rule. 5-year rule means
when we release 2.8.
When we release 2.8, so that is in the when is 2.8 coming out?
When it's finished, when it's ready.
When it's finished.
Why to rush something that's been so well done, so well crafted?
So that is no. By the end of the year, there will be a working.
We're in 1 month from now. So by the end of July, we have SIGGRAPH in LA, And the idea is to be able to have a nice demo of Blender and a nice demo of Eevee. We're starting to collect some sample files for YouTube videos that we see.
Yeah.
And we have a roadmap that goes all the way to September. But then also we're planning to do another like delivery for the Blender conference. So the Blender conference. You know,
Oh yes, it just happened. Actually, both of us are wearing the gear.
This stream is sponsored by the Blender
By
conference.
the Blender conference 2012 and 16.
And it's actually open for
Participation.
submission,
Yeah,
yeah,
for the,
yes.
you can apply with a paper and stuff.
So the idea is for SIGGRAPH, we're gonna have things with a lot of features. For Blender conference, we're gonna have things fast and already, not production ready necessarily,
Yeah.
but starting to accommodate some of the pipelines and make sure it's working for animators. That's one of their main goal for an animator, to be able to have some reflection in real time and be able to animate. It's so rare. We don't see it happening.
No, that is that's amazing actually, and that is I mentioned in the past that in the Agent 327 short movie, actually the animators ran into that problem because it's a barbershop, so they're surrounded by mirrors. So let's, like in this example, for I'm going to share the screen now here. Oops, the other screen. So for example, in this case, like when the animators had to animate this, they will fake it by having a duplicate version of the you duplicate the proxy of the character and then you invert it, so you scale by -1.
I used to do that in SketchUp back in the days.
SketchUp,
It's a
but that's a
classic way.
professional. Anyway, but that is, for example, in those shots where all the action happens like on the mirror, then it makes like you keep it in mind, so you work for it. But in some other shots where, for example, at the end, where it doesn't really, like for example here, the agent stretches, and in this shot the animators didn't actually duplicate the mesh wasn't duplicated first, so you don't really, because there's not a lot of action happening on the mirror, but actually there is intersections. So when the character stretches, there is intersections in the back. Yeah. So that kind of things, thanks to reflections in Eevee, it's gonna be much better.
And a lot of people were asked if Eevee is only to replace the Blender internal, or if it's only for video games, and it's not. We're really hoping people using cycles to benefit from Eevee as well.
This is amazing. This little character is Matt. Is from Substance, right?
Yeah, it was
From
reading to the comments. Algorithm from Substance Painter.
Yep.
The Substance Painter designer, I think.
Yep. There was a contest, and then this character came up from it.
So basically, you take the model and use the software to create the textures.
Yes.
And this model we got from, have you named it?
Julian Perez, I think.
Yeah. Julian.
Why don't you make me remember names?
You're
Sorry,
supposed to have
Julian.
this written down.
I will remember.
Julian Perez.
Look at this. Awesome. I'm rotating what is this? The HDRI map. And I didn't know that Eevee already supports this. It's pretty amazing.
And also supporting if you go to the nodes.
Yes.
Supporting the camera
array.
from
So
light
that way it's doing the little trick that you can hide the background, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I mute this mix shader, oh, look at that. That's pretty amazing. Oh, and then if I rotate, I will actually see the map rotating.
Yes.
This is real time. This is amazing. This is, wow, that's super cool. Have you tried how does it compare with Cycles?
Yes, I did.
Let's see. Cycles, bam. Okay.
You can rotate even if you want to see. Just okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you want to see how slow it is?
Your computer is so much better than mine.
Oh, okay. Not so much. And then prepare your eyes, change to clay. No, sorry, to Eevee. In 5.
Don't blink.
Don't blink. Bam. That's Eevee. And this is real time. Isn't that awesome? So what do we see here? We see reflections, right?
We see reflection, we see normal map, we see the emission. I was talking about this small
ring.
halo.
Yeah, this ring around,
the ring. So now you're looking at the world material. If you switch to the object material.
Yes. Wow.
You're gonna see that you have the same inputs connected to the principal node and the metallic node.
So this is cycles and this is Eevee.
Yes. In the future, we will need that.
In the future, there will be only one to rule them all.
But then in the meanwhile, that's
in the meantime, you have both. You can even add more. If you are in Blender internal, you can actually add the material output from the Blender internal. And then you have a nice mess. Will Eevee support volume scatter absorption?
Eevee is about to have volume implementation.
Volume, yeah, for what kind of volumes?
Initially, going to be word volume,
oh.
which is in a way is the scattering. If you look at the Clement Foucault, it's the core Eevee developer from France.
Yeah.
He just tweeted a sneak peek yesterday.
Yes.
About what's coming for the word volumetric. It's a really a good looking fog.
Oh.
A bit over the top, if I might say. But it's just because it's easier to illustrate if it's a little bit exaggerated. So it's a Clement Foucault, you can find him.
Clement.
And then Foucault, like the Google knows better.
Google knows better, and then
on Twitter.
And
then we're gonna have, so that's the first thing we're gonna have. And then in the future, the next thing coming is volumetric volume for objects. For smoke, for fire.
Wow.
Just like we have for cycles.
This is Eevee.
This is coming for Eevee.
Yes, coming for Eevee.
Yeah, yes.
Wow. Clement Foucault is the credit for most of the amazing PBR stuff that is happening on Eevee.
Even better, even more to get it started because he had his own branch for
he had the PBR branch.
Years,
yes. Blender PBR branch.
And he kept developing it. He was using it because he was using Unreal and then Blender. And at some point it was so nice that it proved that it made sense to have this integrated in Blender.
Yes.
And of course, there's a lot of difference between the original implementation and having the whole 2.8.
Yeah.
How we're composing the different modes on top of each other. But it's nice to have this little seed of where everything started and see how things evolved since then.
So thank you, Clement.
Yeah.
You're our superstar. Follow him. Give it a follow. It's a hypersomniac _
VDB. People are asking things I don't even know what they are.
Yeah.
VDB. Do you know what VDB is?
VDB. I'm not sorry. I wasn't.
Will Eevee work with VDB? It's probably volumetric something. At some point, people gonna say what it is. There's probably a big delay.
Us know. Clement. He's watching us. Hey.
He's very shy as well.
Yes. Amazing. So.
I hate those smiles. Oh, the people smiles. I thought. Okay, go looking for a question while I'll keep making conversation here.
Yes.
A few people are asking about Substance Designer.
Substance Designer, yeah. You have the.
Speaking of Substance Designer.
Yes. Sorry, we're gonna have a drink.
Actually, I never actually tried Substance Designer. We tend to keep away from commercial software because it's we never know. We don't want to be inspired by something that's really a trademark of a software.
No, of course not. It's we can do better. So here is a drink for you, which is having a. It's 10:30 p.m. We are allowed to.
Only Monday. Who doesn't drink on Monday?
Oh, Monday. So cheers, guys. Cheers. Clement.
But anyways, the idea is that Substance Painter is really PBR friendly.
Yes.
So it makes it very easy to bring something that you made with Substance Painter or another PBR centric software like Marmoset or some open source alternatives like Armory Painter, and then bring them to cycles with the principal shader. Yeah. But now with Eevee, the same thing is true. So I don't know, it'd be really nice to see more of this happening. I would love if someone from Substance Painter, from Allegorithmic, is watching us. Please
say something.
Be in touch.
Let us know. Get in touch with us or write on the code bloggers in an email. Dalai at blender.studio. Don't send spam. Let's see. Vulcan support. What about it?
No.
Not yet.
It was part of the original plans.
Yes.
Mike Irving was implementing.
Yes.
So AMD is being one of the partners. We have a few big partners in this project. Of course, we have the development funding from people like donating money. We have the Blender Cloud supporting some of the work here. But then we have AMD, we have Bluebot, we have Tangent Animation Studio. We have... There's a fourth one. And we have another big contributor that Pablo's going to remember in a little bit.
It's on Blender.org.
Come on, I should know that. Because I know Tangent Animation because thanks to them I'm working here. So I'm very glad.
Yeah.
But then basically what
Nimble Collective.
Nimble Collective.
You see, I remember even without going to Blender.org. But if you go, you can see actually.
And they... She had totally lost the train of thought.
Yeah, no, they're supporting Blender development.
I know, but I was saying something before that. It's fine.
Talk about Blender. Oh, Eevee and the game engine. That's another topic.
Oh, you're talking about Vulcan. That's what.
Yes. Vulcan
so basically, AMD, one of their ideas was to help bringing Vulcan to Blender.
Yeah.
And then they're hiring Mike Irving to help develop this. He's been working a lot of the low-level OpenGL implementations in the new Blender.
Yeah.
But then, it's at this moment it's not worth pursuing Vulcan.
No.
Let's point out to that. It wouldn't necessarily benefit Blender, so we wouldn't really see a lot of speed advantage. But it'd be possible to implement, but it's not in the horizon as a target now. Someone was asking, I think he asked twice, or she, I don't even know, about painting normal maps directly on Eevee. I think if you try texture painting now, it's probably going to work.
Texture painting here.
Yes.
It's a bit... I'm not allowed. My lawyer doesn't let me see this. We are already 35 minutes into this. Do you want to jump into probes? Light probes?
Yeah. So let's serve the file.
Okay. I will...
We know which file.
Interior design?
No, Radiance Grid first.
Radiance Grids. Oh, yeah, okay. Good.
So, because we are aiming at real time,
yes.
Not everything can be, as simple cycles, where you just go, put a light and press render, and things magically looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So for game, we have to cheat a lot of stuff. So we have fake reflections, we have fake lighting, we bake a lot of textures, a lot of the information we want in the final scene.
Ooh.
And that's life. There's no running from it. So what we have in this file, this is a kernel box, we call. This is a classic computer graphic setup to show basically light bouncing between the walls and to show how the environment responds to light into itself.
Yep.
And then you can see, so we see a few things there. Basically, we have two probes in this file.
Yes.
One is a reflection probe, and the other one is the Radiance Grid probe. Why don't you remove one of them?
Let's see. If they're correctly named in the new in the new layer manager, then it should be fine. There is a light probe and a light probe 001.
Move them, create a new collection and move them to the collection.
Oh, that's a good idea. To demo this live. Okay, I'm moving this.
No. And now we can just hide it.
Hide it. Boom. So what did I hide? I hide the bouncing, the Radiance Grid. Yeah, Radiance Grid. So
there's a chance
that
the Radiance is still being used even though it's hidden.
Okay. So we are just gonna...
Just move it away. Just take it and move. Yep.
There you go. Wow. So what I'm moving now, this box is baking basically the lighting in the scene into this light...
Beautiful grid.
Beautiful grid.
Yes.
Yes. Which this grid represents the resolution of the lighting, right?
Yes.
As many points as I have is as how detailed the lighting is going to be. So if I put this monkey up, or if I rotate it, then I see the getting affected by the lighting around it.
Can you see it actually?
Of course you can.
Let's not cheat. Come on.
Okay, I'm gonna increase the detail then, so that way the lighting doesn't go that far.
And remove the other probe. How about that?
Okay, that's this Oh, this is a
Yeah,
reflection
just move it
probe.
away. Take it away. Just move.
Look at that. Or I already did it. No.
No, don't
Just
do
put
it.
it aside.
Yeah.
Let's put it aside. Okay, let's not play with fire yet. There is no volumetric support yet. So we can increase the resolution of this, by the way.
Yes, you just go to, well, we are selecting the other probe.
Yes. It's the other probe, so I select this.
Yes. Yeah, it's showing the wrong options there.
It's showing the wrong option. Okay,
Yeah.
we are
Fix it tomorrow morning.
we fix it tomorrow morning, but basically you see the resolution of the how many points you can have, so that way the more points you have, the more detailed the lighting is, the more little the of everything basically.
One thing that helps is to show the data that's being recorded.
Yeah.
These are those big spheres.
Okay.
And we just saw, which means if an object is on the left, it's going to be more red, and on the right, it's going to be more green. So if you, yeah, that's why here gets red,
So red,
and
then
here
it gets green.
gets green. So it's very, very simple to see. Red and green.
Cool.
And if it's and the reason to have a resolution for the grid is then you have the object within this volume and get the proper light bouncing.
But the more points you have, it's also going to be more intensive, I guess. Resource intensive.
Of course, of course. So
Okay.
there's no free, there's no free lunch, only free software.
That's pretty cool. Just like Unreal. Yes.
And the cool thing about Radiance volumes and the Radiance grid is that's really, really useful for interior design.
Yeah.
And that's your cue.
That's my cue to open the file. So we are not going to talk about the,
You
the
can talk about the
reflection.
other reflection, yeah.
Reflection pro. Reflections are cool. Look at that.
Yeah.
But the other file actually shows it better because it's a. Okay, no spoilers. Let's
No
open
spoilers,
it.
no spoilers.
Interior design version 4
So this is a file sent to us
by Marek Moravec.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's not how you say
The way, of
name.
course, but I'm deeply sorry.
And you can see that you just open the
Oh,
file
wow.
and the Radiance grid has been calculated.
Yes.
And now finished being calculated.
Is it finished?
Yeah.
Oh,
So you can even hide the only render.
Oh wow, that wasn't happening yesterday. Is that a new feature?
That wasn't happening this morning either.
This morning, I hear Dalai, Quintanilla, Felinto fixed it. That's pretty cool. So what we see here is a nice. Okay, maybe I should do the trick to hide that. It's an interior scene, of course, and it's being lit by an environment
An HDR image, that's all,
and an HDR image only. Wow.
I think.
Let's see. Can I navigate here like with a Shift F?
Yeah, of course.
Oh wow, I love this feature. Who made this?
Last Pablo, this is not our personal channel anymore.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So there is, okay, lighting is a bit-
Transparency is coming very soon. TMK Digital. It's the next big feature coming to Eevee. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go. There's a mirror. That's so cool. This file has a toilet. And this is actual reflection. If I add a monkey here, are we gonna see it?
And, yeah, of course.
Let's see.
I'm glad you tried this earlier.
Oh, look at that. So
Yeah.
I move the monkey, and it's recalculating the lighting, right? Because the lighting is...
Yes, it's gonna be a bit better. I like the preview in the future. We're gonna try to first get a
Wow.
big lighting calculated and then just increment the resolution. Because right now it's going from left to right,
As we're
top
moving.
to bottom.
Ah. Wow. Can't believe this is all real time. So you just add I just added the okay, I moved the wrong object. Just added the monkey. That's so awesome. And then there is shadows
Yeah, with this shadow is actually coming from a lamp.
from a lamp, from an actual lamp that
Yeah.
is coming.
It's only render, so you need to. But you can see in the mirror. This is what you see on the ceiling.
There
reflected.
you go. Yeah, in the mirror. This
Yeah.
guy.
So there must be a lamp there.
This plane.
Jeez, man, the balloon.
yeah.
The balloon is so
This is
big.
So this is the lamp, and I can put it down.
And you can show the mirror.
this is there.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Wow, so the lamp is actually not recalculating the Radiance cache.
No, that's something huge in terms of what they had in 2.7 and what they have in 2.8, because it doesn't matter how many lamps you have, you don't need to calculate the shaders again, as we used to.
So cool.
And this is we did a few updates last week.
Yeah.
For that, to make sure, because before if you change the lamp, everything would need to be recalculated, but now it's super fast and it's fine. Just can you go to the mirror again?
To the toilet.
Yeah, well, to the mirror.
Yes.
Okay. So what we have here is a third kind of probe, because we talked about the reflection, called reflection cube or sphere. And then here is you do see here this arrow?
Oh, yeah.
This is a reflection plane. So it's used, what do I get the,
manipulator?
Yeah.
Which we have new manipulators, but we are not going to talk about it right now. Wow, what is this?
So we use the reflection plane.
Yeah.
To leave it closer to surfaces that we know that they need a very...
So that way you limit the reflection only to that area.
Yes, and now I won't be able to put back where it was.
I just press escape, and there you go. It's in the same place. Wow.
No, it's totally not, but that's okay. Just don't go back to the mirror.
Yeah, there was a question about hair. And, okay, I'm going to put down the bloom. I hope you don't mind, guys, but I'm being blinded here. And let's, in the render settings, I'm going to turn it down, the intensity only. Or maybe I can just get rid of it.
Disable the whole thing.
Disable the whole thing.
But it's overridden.
It's overridden, yes. Gotta remember this override thing. Okay, it's really hardly overridden.
So maybe that's not even the bloom. It's calculating. Just pretend it's normal.
What? There's people.
You changed the layer.
I changed the layer. Look at that. There's people. Oh my Jesus. Okay. Let me go back. Okay. That's nicer. So the other layer is not using Eevee, it seems, right?
Not everything set up there, I think.
So I'm moving this hair. I'm moving the carpet. Sorry if you're watching this, Marek, I'm breaking your file. But I just want to show that there is support for hair in the latest and greatest Eevee. Mightest. That's so cool. Oh, there's mirror again there.
Yeah, there's some reflection. Because it's a two-step. The material has to be reflexive.
Yeah.
And then you have to have a probe to
calculate the reflection from.
Yes.
Yeah. That's so cool. I like this place, by the way. It's a nice. It has a TV here. It's off. It's a nice setup.
Nice sound system. My Switch will be on top of there.
The Nintendo Switch over there. That's pretty cool. Awesome. What about transparency?
I mentioned.
We
I can just
yes.
say it again. It's gonna come. It's not trivial to make transparency in anything.
Yeah.
That's real time. So it's gonna take a few days, maybe a week, maybe more. But we're aiming to have this before SIGGRAPH. So it's also gonna help.
Before SIGGRAPH.
Yeah, it's also gonna help hair.
So that is SIGGRAPH is early August, end of July.
End of July, yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Maybe we can start doing more questions because we're kind of being neglected.
Filmic, of course, Filmic works in Blender Eevee. Do we have another file that we can show, or we
just do this one? Shift, just.
Let's let me change. Okay, and yes, here Filmic, hashtag Filmic works. You just change it there. You can, of course, the exposure was like super high, and then you can just give it nicer.
You can put only render to remove the.
To remove the
balls.
Yes. Filmic, does it affect performance much?
No, not much.
Use curves, so you can do everything that you do usually with the regular Filmic settings. You can do them in Eevee. That's amazing. Wow, that's like compositing on a in
real time.
Yeah, real time engine.
That's the future.
That's the future. That's the present. We have it here. It's here. That's awesome. That's amazing. 360 VR. Yes.
I really want. Sorry, I was
By
reading.
Derek Elliott.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, 360. Yeah.
VR.
I'm curious about some people. Some people asking about Photoshop with Blender. This is old news. Blender support Photoshop since ever.
Yeah, the
Always supported actually if you had QuickTime in your computer.
quick.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's back in the days. And then in 2013, we got it using a different library. So it works if the file is not packed, which was one of the problems we had before.
Yeah. So if your file is it's unpacked, like it usually is. Pack is when you actually put all the textures inside of the all everything inside of the file. But yeah, that is pretty. That's been working for a while. Normal maps and bump maps. Yeah, they work. Normal map works.
Normal map works really nice.
Yeah,
Tangent
we've
is
seen it.
always tangent is always low, like the tangent space normal maps, but this is also the standard. So,
Yes. So that's,
but it's super slow, the moment.
I'll try the creature.
Yes.
Let's go creature.
Do you know how? I never know how to say his last name. And
Goralczyk.
Goralczyk.
Andreas Goralczyk. Yeah, look at this. It's amazing. It's
Oh,
this.
man.
So, what do we see here? We see. I think especially about the bloom effect. These are particles. No, these are actual meshes.
These are spheres.
Spheres, little spheres
Oh.
with emission.
Just so it works nice for the. And this was before we had any probes.
Oh,
Oh.
so we can actually add some probes. I'm gonna break everything, but it could be interesting.
It's a nice setup, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice setup.
Nice default.
Who made it? There you go. Let's make it metallic.
Ooh.
Boom. Sorry, and if you're watching this, I'm breaking your file, but
But then you're gonna need to go to the probe and make sure it has an offset, an initial offset.
okay. So it needs like a
Start clipping, yes.
start clipping.
So can I?
Yeah, you can file. I'm gonna. It's a custom LUT support plan, guys.
This is what you're rendering. See?
I'm not reflecting anything.
No. So I think.
What if we put an HDR in the background?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna do
Let's-
it.
Let's just hide this.
I don't wanna. Compositing node for real time. No, compositing nodes not.
Not for the time being. No. Sorry.
Well, I mean, it's expected compositing node. But yeah, not for the time being.
Lamp units, lumens, watts. It's not Blender generic. It's Blender. Still not using watt. I don't know. We are trying to mimic
There you go.
what cycles use, I think.
There is a nice.
Jesus, man.
Sorry, I get too excited with these things. I just like brightness and it is burning. Oh, and now since there's something to reflect, then actually now
fantastic.
moving the reflection probe, the one they added from Shift A, light probe, reflection cube map, it's actually working. It's amazing.
And if you actually go to the probe itself and
Yes.
put show data again,
Show data.
you
Oh,
know
so
that's what's reflecting.
that's pretty nice. So you can actually see what the thing is reflecting, what every.
Ah.
That's so nice. Hi, Mom. That is amazing.
It is really cool. And people that they work with gaming, they're quite used to probes. In
Yeah,
general,
right.
so it's
They're
fine.
used to do this kind of things. Is it animated? Yeah, it is animated. Wow. Awesome, Andy. Thank you. That's amazing. We could put this file up on the cloud maybe so people can use it. Not now, but eventually.
Yep.
Ever consider using this for replacing games? Yeah, that it's the
On the Blender game engine.
Blender game engine.
Plus
Yeah,
minus,
well,
yes.
this is the viewport. So whenever there is a new game engine, it's gonna use Eevee.
Man, it looks really good animated
Yeah.
on the streaming. Thanks, Andy. Well, the thing is the UpBG team is a team that is working in a fork of the Blender game engine is trying to integrate the Blender game engine with 2.8. At least integrate with Eevee, but ideally integrate with the new depth graph, integrate with the new, asset manager, the new everything,
Yeah.
workspaces. So it might happen.
That is so cool. It is romantic now. Yeah, it's very romantic. What hardware do you have, guys? It looks kind of powerful. It's not crazy
Not
powerful,
really.
actually. I mean,
Somehow you're the underdog here on computers.
and well, no, actually, it's pretty good. It's a 1080. It's an NVIDIA 1080, but you can do this with way less than this.
Just stay away from the open source drivers on Linux. Sorry, I said.
Yeah.
But stay away from
Open
them.
source. Yeah, we're using the
Especially on with low-end AMD cards. Basically, the open source driver, which is called Mesa,
Yeah.
doesn't cache any shader, so it's really slow for a lot of things, for playback, for.
There is shadow reflected on the guys. Question:
Mhm.
will Cycles get a viewport back, be it Eevee or Clay or something?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Yes.
The idea is that Eevee is going to be the view. Well, the idea is that if you're doing the final lighting, you actually want to see cycles. Period. Cycles can get faster to work on viewport, and we're definitely supporting more options where you can set up a layer that's really optimized for viewport and another layer that's optimized for the final rendering.
Yeah.
But then the idea is that Eevee can replace cycles for the artists that are not doing final lighting.
For the viewport,
So for layout, for
yeah.
Basically some of the modeling, animation. And then what we now have as Clay, and that we hope in the future is going to be the workbench engine.
Yeah.
It's going to be the go-to engine for work. So something that gives more options for different cavity shaders, different matte caps, different, you name it.
Anything.
Maybe edit mode you want to see, lined edges you want to see, the face orientation by two different colors. This is
there's
and
plenty
go
of
on
things.
and on and on.
Linux isn't supported enough. I'm streaming this from my Linux computer. We're using Ubuntu here, and people are using Debian, people are using anything. So we are, at Blender Institute is a Linux studio, Linux based. So don't worry.
Eevee won't support OpenCL because
OpenCL.
it's a different. They're all GPU based, but they are different OpenCL is a different technology that is non-compatible with what we are doing for Eevee now. At least for now.
No, at least for now. Okay. We have
My
5.
Intel is on. Yeah, so someone is using Intel HD graphics on Linux.
And
Chris
it doesn't
D.
work. Yeah.
It is low, and again, it's the one thing you mentioned in the beginning about which graphic card to use, which computer to use. You definitely want a dedicated graphic card.
Yeah.
With Intels usually are not.
Yeah.
Prove me
So
wrong, but
if you have an Intel and can't play modern games, it makes sense that you can't use modern graphics within Blender. So yeah. Yeah. So I think are you on Blender Discord? No, none of us is on Blender Discord. We should reply we posted this on the code blog, and we are now gonna reply the questions there because it's nice. Is there a plan to bring back the viewport? Okay, this is what we talk about. So you can navigate in OpenGL while rendering in Cycles. Yes.
I don't even think I got it.
Or will Cycles mode rendering only? No.
But I think we answered that already.
We already answered this. Yeah, just scroll back a little bit. But yeah, basically you'll use Eevee for anything that is on the viewport, especially if you're not doing rendering, you're animating or anything, you're going to be using Eevee.
Yeah. The idea of supporting render passes, which is a following question, is desirable, yet is not there yet. I have no idea how many chains we'll need. Because Eevee right now does one thing and one thing only. But we could have different passes, I think.
Yeah, of course. I think so.
Of course, yeah.
But
it's not the first priority. That's the thing.
It is not. Yes. Then Marcus asked three things from the.
The valid first question.
Any of the code? Tom has probably mentioned that if Blender has got the go ahead from Epic to port Unreal Engine code into Blender.
It's more like Epic is fine if you look at their implementation and redo it. It's not necessarily copying verbatim their code, But honestly, we did in a few cases. So, and in some cases that's even a problem because the way that Unreal handles specular
Yeah.
is really green biased.
Green bias.
And instead of using a whole luminance, actually
Yeah.
green biased. And I even checked their source code on GitHub, and that's what they have.
Oh, that's interesting.
So at first we're doing the same green biased implementation for specular,
Yeah.
just so people deploying for Unreal get the same result. But now that we're merging Eevee and the principal node, we actually went back and decided to implement this luminance. But this is something you still want to ask about Unreal developers. Why they have this implementation?
Yeah.
I wonder about the Substance Painter as well. Which system are they following?
So if there is any Unreal developer watching this, or you know anybody in your neighborhood, just let us know. It would be nice to get these questions answered. Quick question: the SSS, so subsurface scattering on Eevee.
It's gonna come.
It's gonna
in the
come.
future, yeah.
It's planned. So
Someone a quick question also asked about how water is gonna be handled,
water.
and the idea we're gonna have SSR screen surface reflection,
Screen surface reflection.
Yeah.
So it's
and really helps for water. But we can already use with some of the reflection plane probes.
yeah.
But SSR is cheaper and
That's pretty
it
nice.
works well.
Smoke, volumetrics. We mentioned that Clement already has it has a teaser on his Twitter on like world smoke, not smoke, sorry, world volumes. So in in cycles you can have world volumes or object volumes. So object volumes will come eventually for Eevee.
Yes,
Eventually,
of course.
but
we even
for the moment it's just
and just think that even for 2.7 we already have smoke and fire rendered real time in the viewport.
in the viewport. Yeah, so
I know some people that were not bothering with rendering with cycles. Actually, Colin did that. I don't know if I can say that, but for the Eye in the Sky project. Not Eye in the Sky, the Sky Watch.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. If it looks good in the viewport, then just render an OpenGL render and then just put it on top with the compositor.
So what we have is already very compatible with the real time and Eevee. So it's gonna be it's a matter of time. So just stay tuned. Anything else from Coded Blender?
Yes. Sorry, I was shadow catcher.
And then we just skip those questions.
We skip. Yes. No. Because we need to give priority to that.
Someone asked about the non-realistic shaders.
Non-realistic shaders. Non-realistic shaders. Of course.
Well, it's
if you can do realistic, you can do unrealistic.
And I'll go a step beyond. If you look at the latest Zelda iteration, Zelda Breath of the Wild, great game. It's using PBR. The whole material system is designed with PBR in mind. And it's non-realistic. It's very cartoonish. Looks amazing. Yeah. Great gameplay.
So Zelda, the latest Zelda is using PBR. The same
hashtag PBR. Yeah.
Hashtag PBR. There is the same concept of keeping physics in mind in when shading. And if Zelda can do it, can make it look cartoon, then you can too. Another question. How close the web rendering quality of Blend for Web and Eevee could be compatible in terms of scene setup and materials?
I think a lot in the future.
Yeah, well, I was at the Blend for Web conference in Moscow in May, and they you should check out the talks because actually they mentioned on the future of Blend for Web, and they already have Eevee in mind, so. No worries. But they already have some support for cycles materials conversion into it.
Can you go up a little bit?
Sorry?
Go up a little bit.
What is the question?
I said subsurface reflection or something else. It's screen space reflection. SSR is screen space.
Sorry.
I know
it's 11.
It's the pressure.
11 p.m. at night. There is a little bit of pressure.
How many people we have watching the video?
How many people? I have no idea.
Me neither.
1 minute.
No, Carol, no.
Do you really care?
Shall we click bait and try to?
It's 450. Oh, Jesus, 440
this
people.
This is the clickbait moment of the video, so you
What?
can put the hashtag fidget spinner.
No, please don't. But they're fun, actually. I got it because they're fun. And another question. Do you have any plan on having optional upscale lower resolution rendering in the viewport? Upscale lower resolution rendering in the viewport for optimization on lower end machines? Not that.
Sorry, Mark, I don't know what it does.
It's like upscaling, like instead of rendering full resolution, you render smaller and then upscale. No, there are no plans for that.
But we do have plans to implement tiles.
Tiles.
So you can have 12. And then, this is more
Rendering
thinking,
tiles.
this is thinking about if you want to print a big banner, a big poster, and it doesn't matter how good your computer is, you cannot do 8K, 16K with your graphic card, I think.
Get closer to the microphone, please.
I think.
You're saying very important things.
Yeah, so the idea is you should be able, but you still should be able to use Blender for this. You should be able to render out.
Yeah, of course.
So you should be able to render in times. And in that sense, if you have a low-end computer, you can use the same principle.
So you could render with a lower end computer with a slower machine in tiles, just like Blender internal, but using Eevee.
Yeah, we would hope.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. That's good news. You learned it first at the Blender Coders channel. Will the interesting? Non-photorealistic shaders that we already mentioned. That's another question.
I think we did all of those, and the last one's about level of details and
LODs. Yeah, level of details in Eevee's viewport, as it currently doesn't work in the Cycles viewport.
We might. I don't know if you will do it. Maybe we don't need to do it because of the new override system, so you can literally replace a heavy mesh for some of the shots.
Yeah.
Because the level of detail we have now was made in thinking about the game engine. So I don't know if you should really have this. Oh, we'll see. There's so many things still to be implemented, Mr. Miro.
Awesome. So multi-GPU supported.
Yes and no. I don't know what they mean about multi-GPU, but the idea that we're going to be able to have 2 different GPUs with 2 different screens.
Yeah.
And you can have 2 windows of Blender running at the same time.
And
they're going to work fine. And that's multi-GPU. But that's different than... Yeah, that's multi-GPU.
That's great.
How someone noticed the Eevee in the background.
The Eevee in the background. Yeah. Clickbait, fail, too blurry. Oh, okay. No. Just
okay,
don't.
Okay.
It's our first live stream. We can't screw it up. And in fact, we're actually
wrapping up
over 1 hour. So please, if you have any questions, we might have skipped some. Sorry about it.
It's almost 400 people watching.
No, actually, it's more than that.
Yeah, but that's what people were saying.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you very much. That's a lot of people. We could make a party about it. If you like this kind of content, please let us know. Leave a comment or something, because it's very fun to do it. But we need to know if actually people like it.
Yeah.
People want it.
Yeah.
Do we have another file to show, or do you wanna?
I wanted to do a quick pass on the questions. Just some of them you can easily answer. Do we have another file? Don't remember.
You can look at the questions and.
So, for instance, someone asked if we're going to have an option to hide an object instead of the whole collection. Maybe not.
No,
Initially,
hiding is per collection, right?
Yeah, the idea is to be per collection. You want people to really try the new pipeline, and then we can talk in the future if you really need a way to address specific issues.
Yeah.
But at first, not. Yes, it supports AMD cards.
Yes, of course.
No problem.
Anti-aliasing.
And someone was asking about if you're going to be providing an HDR image to start for newbies. You'll be glad to know that on the blender.cloud.
Yeah, on Blender Cloud, but it's not free. So
is there any? We could have one free.
We could
You're gonna have one free.
We could make it free now. No, okay, but we are going to. Yeah, that's we have these ideas that it would be nice to be able to download Blender, either just the regular Blender, just the nothing with it, basically just empty Blender, or also a Blender with some models, something to start already. They're great assets in Blender Cloud, or basically everywhere in the. What are you doing? What?
So can you show Blender again?
Yes, let me...
Someone was asking about anti-aliasing So
Anti-aliasing.
we're gonna have, there's a patch that's gonna be supported soon that implements FXAA, which is a cheap, well, it's a fast anti-aliasing developed by an NVIDIA.
Oh yeah, I've seen it on video games. FXSAA.
It's super
yeah,
common.
very
It's
common.
implemented by an NVIDIA developer. We actually wrote them and asking if you could use, and they replied, yeah, okay, it's fine. The shader is BSD, so it's compatible. But in the meanwhile, what you can have, if your render OpenGL options has anti-aliasing enabled, you can pick the samples you want. These are not a lot of people know about this, by the way. And if you just render here, you get
Bam.
nice aliased lines.
Wow.
I think
Anti-alias.
Depth of fields, you have some problems with this.
with rendering in the viewport.
Yeah, and the aliasing, but that's anyways, that's a bug. But and apart from that, yes, anti-aliasing is in the roadmap, more robust anti-alias.
Anti-alias, yeah. But I guess it's not a super high priority right now because it's on top of everything, right?
Yep.
So better to have the building blocks first. But in the meantime, you can just render.
Yep.
And eventually this will be F12. You press F12 and it actually...
And someone was also asking about if you're going to be supporting sculpt mode and texture painting with Eevee. And the answer is very simple. It's yes.
Yes, of course.
Most of it's working already. Right now, sculpting there are a few bugs regarding things sculpt. But in theory, every single of the editing modes can just work with Eevee. So you're looking at Eevee and editing the mesh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Eevee will work with everything. Soft surf. When would it work with Eevee? So I think you mean
we
not
didn't
only
mention the
soft surf,
modifiers.
but modifiers.
It was the first question we had at 5 o'clock.
Will modifiers? Yes, before we even started the live stream. So yeah, there will be support for modify. Actually, there is. I heard a little bird told me maybe there is support for modifiers or not modifiers, but
no. It's a work in progress.
Yes.
Building option.
Yes.
So I don't think we mentioned here, but we did so many times already. If you wanna try Eevee today, just go to builder.blender.org.
Yes.
And Pablo is gonna show. There's a big disclaimer.
Actually, I always say builder.blender.org, but actually people just go to blender.org. And I've seen it in some tutorials, and I keep forgetting, and I made the website. It's at the bottom of the download page. It says Bleeding Edge. I'm gonna remake this soon. So today I changed the name. It was OS X, and I made it Mac OS. Anyway, in the Bleeding Edge section, you can go grab your daily build, and you can download Blender. So this is the top section. Of course, all of this is in development, so you shouldn't use it for like serious stuff. But the top section is basically Blender 279. So it's 278 in development, but it's pretty much at this day is almost 279. Mm-hmm. Then there is some experimental ways of building Blender, and at the bottom you can find Blender 2.8.
And we have very recent builds for Windows.
Actually, before starting this live stream, here the guy, Dalai,
I had fixed a bug that
he fixed a bug and he pushed a fix on his own bug.
But if you have Windows, you can just download. Mac, it's fresh as well. And Linux, I think one of the builders are still busy.
It's still busy, but yeah, you can see here actually the 32-bit is done at 2 p.m. 22, and the other one still, for some reason, the 64-bit. Yeah. But if you're using Linux, you're probably a nerd like we are, so you probably build it yourself anyway, and it shouldn't be a problem.
Well, so if let's talk about modifiers.
Yes, modifiers.
We have them working in a very initial state as a build option, so it's really only if you build your own Blender. Otherwise, just be patient. And this week, the main developer that's taking care of this, which is Sergey Sharybin.
Sergey Sharybin, yes, I heard he's
my good friend Siroga.
Yeah.
And then he's going to keep working on the new depth graph, and this is a core part of depth graph. We call copyright.
The dependency graph.
So just wait a little bit, and then going to have not a single modifier is working at the moment, and the subsurf is one of them, and subsurf is going to be supported via Open Subdiv.
Oh, even.
So it won't be a modifier anymore.
What? So it will
So
be like
it's gonna
super
be
fast.
Super fast. Super
Amazing
fast.
fast. So like that is Pixar level fast. OpenSubdiv is developed by Pixar, so literally a Pixar level of fastness. That's super cool. So I think we are over 1 hour. We should wrap it up. It's 11:15 here in Amsterdam. We're going. A new version, Windows version appear. I'm just looking over the questions if I miss anything. What does it mean VC14 zip? Oh yeah, it's a the VC14 is Visual.
With Visual Studio 2000, you'd think it's 2014, but it's 2000. I don't know. I lost the count. It's Windows.
You don't really
just download it.
It's just a window, yeah.
Because
if the other one doesn't work, it's
That's 2015 is in there.
Yeah.
Before finishing, I'd like just to take the opportunity to thank the other developers.
Yes.
Because we did mention some of the sponsors of the Blender and Blender 2.8 project.
Yes, we already mentioned them by name. We can mention them again.
Yeah, I can mention them again. So in order, alphabetical order is AMD, one of our big partners. Then we have alphabetical order Lulbots.
Lulbots, yeah, from the MakerBots.
And then we have Tangent Animations.
Tangent Animation.
And Tangent Animation Studio is a great animation studio in Canada with an office in Winnipeg and Toronto, which I visited. I think
they are making their second feature film with Blender.
And it looks really cool. Looks really cool.
That's super cool.
Did you see? Well, anyways,
and the Nimble Collective.
Yes.
Which they are supporting also they're supporting, for example, Zebran. So all the pipeline stuff like Alembic and all of that is being supported by this studio. So that's amazing that people are and companies are helping with this. But not only that, thanks to the development fund. So development fund also is paying the bills.
Important part of paying the bills.
Yes. So if you go to blender.org, you can go to donate, and then you'll see you can read a little bit about what's happening with the development fund. There is an amount of money every month that gets collected, and then it gets it's given to developers by grants. So that way we can mainly get developers to either work in smaller projects or fix bugs, which is like a lot of work. It's insane. So if you want to learn more about that, go to blender.org/donate.
And then the other thing I want to say is the developers that are helping, because there's a lot of work that's been done. So we mentioned Sergey, Shadabin, Campbell Barton's doing a fantastic work on. He's actually helping a lot of the Draw Manager, which is related to Eevee.
Yes.
And he's also working on the manipulators.
Yes, which we didn't show and we shouldn't show because otherwise we are not gonna finish. So you keep talking.
Okay.
Yeah, you keep talking.
So that's something that started a few years ago. Julian Iso started work on this, and it was nice to have this now in Blender.
Look at that.
Ooh, that looks pretty cool. And now we have start having manipulators for different operators. It's really cool. We have Bastien Montaigne helping. I think you mentioned a lot of the bugs and the tracker, helping the release. Clément, it's like the core of the work from Eevee comes from him. It was his original pet project, and now it's this big thing in Blender. And of course, so many other developers. Now I kind of regret start mentioning them. But of course we have...
Yeah, you're going to miss
one
so
thing
many.
I cannot not mention is Mike Irvin, we mentioned before.
Yes.
It was working originally
OpenGL
via AMD and helping a lot of the low-level code that we have. And of course, I'm going to forget something, but that's fine. I'm saying
we're gonna forget.
I'm saying that because we do all those videos because we have the nice setup here, and it's important to outreach. But of course, we're here working as a face for the project, but there's many more people working on it.
There's many people, and also thank you to the artists that also share their files. To everyone, there is people working Gris Pencil, Antonio, Pepeland, Matias. I mean, you can't name them all. Just come to the Blender conference and then you'll see most of them and hug them in person. So it's been...
I was going to say the volunteers, everyone that's been always helping, confirming bugs, reporting bugs, documenting Blender, translating the UI,
anybody.
Watching the live streams.
Yes. Thank you, Dalai, for coming. Yeah, don't. We're eating. It looks like we're eating, and we're actually being healthy. We're eating.
It's because you can swallow
Grapes.
fast if you need. That's why we
If
pick
you
grapes.
that makes sense. So it's been great. It's been a lot of fun actually to do this. Let us know. Give it a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. We're gonna keep making of course the little short 2-minute videos that are nice to show features. But this kind of content, is it nice? Is it fun or not? Did we miss too many questions? Let us know.
And keep making videos on YouTube or posting on Blender Artists. We are looking at them whenever you can find. Use the hashtag B3D or hashtag Eevee.
Yes.
Because it's so nice. Some of the files we showed we actually got thanks to this thanks to find them on YouTube and all that.
Yeah, well, actually we follow the hashtag the V3D and hashtag Eevee on Twitter. So please share it, share more stuff. It's amazing. Blender 2.8 is gonna blow people's minds, and it's gonna be a turning point in the industry. I bet. It's already doing it. Come on, it's amazing.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic to see people so eager to start using and spreading the news and the enthusiasm. Thanks a lot. Like,
Yes.
big time.
Yes, that really helps. That's like the main thing for developers to get motivated and keep killing it. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Subscribe if you want to see more of this. You're gonna get notified. If you can press on the little bell, and you're gonna get a notification whenever we make a new live stream, hopefully soon. So thank you, Dalai.
Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you to all the 400-500 people that are watching this, and see you next time.
Next time.
Bye bye.